Hello, I am Alex. I'm the host of today's episode. We didn't really name this, but the Discord group has been the guest at Yap, and we're here to discuss about Black and White Draft. How do we feel about it? What has been going well in polls, in small gun polls right now, and some underdog picks, all that. I am joined by Tsuki and Zinc. Hello.
Oh,
Hi. So,
Yeah.
all right.
mhm.
So we can finally get started. So
Yeah.
as I
Okay.
mentioned, first I wanted to talk about how do we feel about this format, and I'll let you two go first.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
yeah, you
Um,
you 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 go first.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
talk.
I will. Sure. I mean, it definitely seems very offense oriented right now, as does like most modern draft, to my understanding, of course. But you have the reputation of black and white OU already, and it definitely feeds into this very fast paced format that is being played right now. And I think that's neat, and I think overall I find the format enjoyable because of that. But also, it still seems like a little. I don't want to say underdeveloped. That sounds like not nice to some extent. But it still looks like there might be potential bans on the table. It's not really clear where the direction of that would go right now. But um, I think those are the main takeaways from this format, just at a distance.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're not. I think if you're not wrong to say underdeveloped because I mean, it's not up until now. It hasn't been a very played format. I mean,
Yeah,
we've just now started playing with Smoke Like
I
where we're
just don't
seeing
want to sound rude
a
about
lot
it,
of
but yeah.
experimentation right now, and like
Mhm.
it's developing in real time. So like I wouldn't say that it's wrong or rude or whatever to say
Yeah.
underdeveloped. I mean, it's whatever. It's a draft format. We can't hurt its feelings. So. Um,
Sure enough.
And so yeah, like I think I generally agree with you. I think that um I think that the offensive pace that like is set for basically every team, most teams anyway, that they have to play
Yeah.
at. Um there is some wiggle room, like you can play some balanced
Mhm.
structures. Like there are balanced structures that work. Um
Yeah.
like particularly like bulky spiker, spin blocker, like with a lot of backbone, these kinds of teams can definitely work
Yeah, I've
for the
I've
long
seen like
term.
some very reasonable hippo sands, that take a little
Right,
longer to
yeah.
get going.
Well,
Yeah,
I will say I don't let me I can
okay,
we can talk about that later about like
sure.
Hippo's conversion rate, but I will say I don't think it's very good.
Oh,
Um but in any case, yeah, like it is definitely possible to play stuff like that. Stall or anything. Like
yeah, exactly.
that sort of team is not really uh not really feasible or desirable to build, but like yeah. I think that generally it's a good time, but there are like some threats that are like a little bit too breaking the bank on making fat stuff like completely
Yeah,
unplayable. As in
definitely.
like Thunderous kind of makes fat stuff unplayable and Kieran
Thunderous,
Black kind of makes fat
Tracheum,
stuff
Garchomp
unplayable.
all come to mind right
Uh
away.
I
Of
don't
good
think
drafting.
I actually don't think Garchomp does that, but I think
Well,
Kieran Black and
I
Thunderous
mean,
do to an extent.
yeah.
But who can say?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
I
have to see
haven't
as things develop.
experimented with SD Chomp admittedly as much as I would like to, but I've only had this thing for 2 games, so.
Well, the thing with SD Chomp is that it doesn't speed, so whatever. But
Oh,
anyway,
really? Okay.
it's you know
Yeah.
we can
Okay.
talk about that later.
Sure.
So, my personal take is that Black and White Draft, yes, it has taken the notes of Black and White OU, but it has taken it to a more extreme level, per se, with
Mhm.
the fast pacedness of the games. So, just mons that come to mind are Terrakion, which is, I think, honestly, might be the best mon in the format. Garchomp putting up very strong competition. But Terrakion, in my eyes, right now feels, at least it feels like the best offensive mon in the format by like a long shot. Nothing even compares to it. But Garchomp, yes, obviously overall the best mon in the format because it has the defensive side. But Terrakion to me is by and large the best mon in like checking teams and doing all that offensive pressure. So it has taken
Yeah.
like because there's no Latias, that Terrakion-based structures, and we can go over them in a bit. Terrakion has kind of forced the format to be what it is due to the speed limits that
That's
it enforces and
that's
due to the fats that it enforces. Like it forces the Kofagrigus, it forces Dusclops, it forces the Starmie. Well, Starmie is obviously broken due to other reasons, but it forces like the Alakazams, Azols, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
definitely.
so
108
Yeah, I
is
would
like the
say
biggest
I would say
benchmark
there's
when you're
yeah, I would
drafting,
say
I
that
think.
like yeah, the Terrakion speed benchmark is definitely like
Yeah.
the most defining like well, or not the most defining necessarily, but one of the most defining like
Yeah.
check boxes that you must
Hmm.
address when drafting. Like if you don't have a Terrakion outspeed, you have to have some like serious backbone
Yeah,
to not just lose to it.
definitely.
and it has been made work so far. Like, just to mention one draft that comes to mind is Eva Kiyama's draft in UCL, where her only fast mon was Mian Shao, but she had a Slowking and a Bronzong on that team,
Right.
which provided
Yeah.
all the like the region that she needed for to make it work. And she had an Excadrill with a Kieran Black, so that's a
Right.
draft that can be a possible. Yeah, I agree that there are some bans in the table. Personally, I am not too keen on banning anything. My only gripe, and I have been pretty vocal about this in public discords, is that I want Kieran Black gone. Personally, I don't like what it does in the format, but I don't think it's like broken in per se, like in a Terrakion kind of way. I don't think what Kieran Black does in the format is particularly enjoyable, and it hasn't had
Yeah.
that high of a
That's
win
fair.
rate at the end of the day. Like all out of the 30 times, well, we can, yeah. Well, it's a pretty good slope to go into the raw data now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like if we want to talk about that, I can bring up that Kieran Black has like exactly a 50% conversion rate. There are 15 Kieran Black drafts that
correct.
made it out of
Right.
pools out of the 30.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and the rise of
Yeah.
Salamence. Salamence.
Oh yeah, Salamence was very yeah,
Well,
Settlements is
okay,
yeah.
I
great.
almost I want to call that a skill issue in many ways because it
Yeah.
is such an insane skill check. If you wanna pit it consistently with like suboptimal
Mm.
drafts, like my draft, for example, could not. I had to go above and beyond in my builder, and I'm not a particularly good builder. I wouldn't call myself one, but
Mm.
it is still like possible to beat it with most stuff. But it's so snowball
Right.
heavy. It is so
Hmm.
easy to run, and it has been by and large the strongest raw offensive mon in polls, and
Mhm.
it has only like the only thing that compares to is like motherfucking yeah, well Jirachi is second and
Hmm.
Terrakion is third out of the big ones.
Hmm.
And then
I think that yeah, like the no, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, and no, it's just funny to me that none of those mons have been the number one most successful mon in polls.
Right.
When
Hmm.
Isn't it tied with Jirachi?
no, it is not.
Oh, I thought it was
Neither
tied
of
with
them
Jirachi.
are the most
Yeah.
highest win rate mon. It is
Well,
Rotom
not
Wash.
neither of them are, but yeah, Rotom Wash,
Hmm.
the goat, as some might say.
Yeah,
20 drafts out of pools of the 30 times it was
Of
drafted, which
course.
is
Yeah.
every time.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
A 66% win rate is kind of insane.
it
Yeah.
is. I mean, it just like goes to show. Like, I mean, because Rotom Wash, like fundamentally, is just like a very strong Pokemon that offers
Yeah.
you a lot of flexibility. Like, it's like it's a good choice scarfer in some matchups. It's really
Hmm.
good. Like its bulky sets are really good. Like
Hmm.
it can run specs. Like
Yeah. It's
it just
using
does a lot of things.
similar moves a lot of the time, but yeah, it can be expressed through a few different items that will all do
Yeah,
significantly
Right.
different
Yeah.
things, which
Yeah. And I
is
mean, you know,
great.
nothing groundbreaking being said here. Like Wash Tom is
Yeah,
good.
it's
Like who would
like
have thought? Like
yeah. But
uh,
yeah,
but
it's like
yeah.
um well, it's got a high skill floor basically because it's got like, three or four moves that will be very good no matter what. So I think it makes sense to be advancing a lot.
don't you mean
Yeah.
like low
And I
skill
mean,
floor? Because high would mean
Just like
hard to use.
or
yeah, like low skill floor.
I meant I don't know what exactly I said. Basically, it's always going to put in work no matter what you put on it
Yeah,
because it's
Yeah.
fundamentally solid moves. I'm sorry if I messed up that
Yeah.
like
No, yeah,
phrase.
yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
but yeah, I think it's
That's what I
like
meant. It's
yeah, yeah,
always
yeah. I
doing
think
something
I get what you
valuable.
meant. I get what you meant.
Okay,
So
cool.
I think it is also like definitely reflective of like the Volt turn cores that are like so
Yeah,
good in this
definitely.
format. Um, like yeah, Rotom Wash is like one of the best Volt Switch users in the format. So like yeah, of course it's going to be
Mhm.
uh successful in a format
Yeah,
where Volt turn is a
threatening grounds and
popular
having a strong volt switch is
dynamic.
just such a 1-2 combo, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Rotom like also has a similar dynamic, but
Yeah.
obviously not exactly as successful. Though of course I don't actually know how many times it was drafted.
Yeah, I think it's
We can check
very
that later. I have that data. I do
Let me
in fact.
check.
I think it was around
17 times.
yeah, 17 times and
17.
8 win
A
rate
little
is
under
about
half.
Yeah, so
50%.
it has about 50% win rate, which is
That's a
like
little
considerably
disappointing,
lower.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would have expected to do better. I think it has. I think it's just a little underpriced or maybe just underrated right now.
Yeah.
But its win rate is not amazing, so
Yeah.
that's too bad.
With Rotom Wash and Rotom Mow is that Volturn is I think the best playstyle in the format, like by and large.
Yeah,
And both
Yeah.
of them are electrics that can volt switch on grounds. And well, as with Rotom Wash, it is a ton easier because you have Hydro Pump instead of Leaf Storm, and Hydro Pump is a
Yeah.
splashable move, and it is like Excadrill cannot take it at all, for example,
Right, yeah. That's true.
and Landers cannot take it, but obviously still Rotom Mow can. It's a very good Volt Switch user, and any good pivots right now feel just amazing
Right, yeah.
due to the fact that momentum is so key, and Terrakion and Kyurem and Salmons and all of these kind of strong one-click one-button mons require the amount of pivoting to get really into the game. And
Mhm.
similar could be
Yeah.
said for like Excadrill. Excadrill is a very weird mon to me because it feels very odd because I think it's like really bad at getting spins off, but it's such a good offensive mon in like
yeah,
overall. Why it's
Yeah,
so
I would
good
agree.
because it's
yeah. It's very potent, and it happens to have spin, but
Yeah,
having
I mean
that
it's just
option is
yeah.
still very useful. It's like
Yeah, like
Garchomp happens to have rocks, and like I haven't used Tank Chomp that much here. I'm sure it's still decent, but
I
you know,
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think I actually don't think that I actually don't really think that Tank Chomp is
okay.
going to be
Well, I was saying for the
whatever.
sake of
But, you know,
argument, I was just saying it happens to have rocks, right? Like there's mons that have like, I mean, Infernape has rocks too, for example, and people don't like Infernape, but that's fine. I'm just saying like things have options, and they don't really use them all the time, or even like it's just a rare option, even though the thing is
sure,
objectively
yeah.
good.
I mean like yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to say that like Excadrill's like a bad spinner, but like because it is like just fundamentally such a strong Pokemon.
Yeah,
Um but like a lot of the time it just has a lot better things like
yeah,
in terms of winning the game more quickly. It just has more immediate things that it needs to be doing. And it's
mhm,
also like it's also like a steal with like really horrendous bulk. So like a lot of the time it's not exactly like a solid defensive piece versus
yeah,
much of anything. So like that kind of makes it spinning less of a like it's not going to be as consistent at spinning as some other Pokemon.
mhm,
correct. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Speaking of Infernape, which I'm a big hater of, I dislike that mon so heavily. It has a good ass win rate with 17.
mhm.
It's made 17 times out of 30 times picked,
Mhm.
so that's a good ass win
29.
rate.
Yeah,
Only 29 times picked, so like slightly higher win
Yeah,
rate overall.
yeah. It's a very good mon. Has been performing very
mhm.
well. I am. Tsuki knows my rant about it. I dislike Infernape a ton because I don't think it really does anything. But it it has the unique trait of being a fast U-turn mon, and I think that has been key right now in the format.
Yeah,
Just being a fast
Yeah.
U-turn mon, and
it,
it
it
is
threatens.
It's a fast U-turn that's also a fire that's also like the fastest fire type, which like
Yeah,
is like a lot of good traits to jam into one guy.
threatens enough to get free U-turns relatively.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had I'm not liking really Infernape, but it obviously does beat steals, and it does. Mostly it beats steals. That is what it does best, and it's really pretty threatening mixed attacker in general. And with close combat, flare blades, whatever, it has good stabs. But my key issue with it has been that it doesn't really have raw damage output outside of when you're using Life Orb, and I think Life Orb is by far its best item in this meta
Right.
because it allows it to go mixed more effectively, and then it suddenly it has hidden power ice, and then it's just threatening your ground types, and it has grass knot, so suddenly your Hippowdon is dead, or
Yeah.
whatever. So it like threatens out water types pretty well. Well, not the best, but it can threaten them out with hidden
Right.
power, electric, thunder punch.
Right. It has grass knot as well, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just mentioned that.
Yeah.
And it has
Oh,
encore, which is really good.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a lot of good utility. Like, I don't know that anyone's gonna be clicking it, but like it also gets like wisp taunt, etc. Like
Yeah.
taunt is actually like quite good. Like
That's a
fast taunt
very
guys, especially on teams that are like maybe playing a little bit more fast and loose with the spinner,
Yeah.
very deep
is
move
always
pool,
like
though
good.
I don't see myself ever wanting to use 3/4 of these moves, but they are interesting, I suppose.
Yeah, I
think
mean, it is what it
having
is.
having text is just nice overall,
Yeah.
just in case.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, I'm just pulling up my guide right now, open right now, and what I do want to talk about is what the play styles, obviously. Sand, rain,
sure.
weatherless, all three styles of weatherless and rain and sand. And
Mhm.
what I kind of expected is that weatherless offense has been the best one so far,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then it's
Right.
closely followed by weatherless balance and hyper offense, and then the sands come up. But the funny thing has been that Landorus Incarnate has been having a good ass performance in this tournament.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
it wasn't drafted all times. That much I
Oh,
can
really?
remember. It wasn't, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it was drafted 15 times, and I think all 15. How many of them made it? Can you check?
Let me check. I can check, yeah.
Yeah.
Six. Only
Okay,
six.
six. Only
So,
six.
not
Weird. That is
actually
odd.
that great.
Yeah, it isn't that
Um,
great in that case.
It's a
But
very weird Pokemon.
yeah,
well, I don't know. I think it's just like I think it's actually pretty straightforward. Like, it's fast. It's very strong. In sand, it's like ridiculously strong because it gets sand. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone's listening to this who doesn't like know the rule set, but like, Landorus Incarnate is legal with Sand Force only and not Sheer Force. So like that's why it goes on sand. Um,
Mhm.
Generally speaking, there are some sandless Lando Incarnates, and I think those are also fine because they're just like a good Pokemon. But like, um, yeah, like it's pretty straightforward, I think, but it has like a lot of options as like offensively. Like it's got basically every setup you could imagine. It's got CM, Sword Stance, Rock Polish,
yeah,
etc. But like,
yeah. And
yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to like look more in depth at the Landorus Incarnate Sands and see maybe why they didn't convert.
yeah,
But
yeah. I can ask one of the users. I can tell that it's well. My own team was kind of bad. For context, I'm out of pools. I am out of the tournament right now after missing a Stone Edge. Fuck me. But uh, as one of the users of it, I think that Rock Polish is by far its best set. Like
Hmm.
nothing even
yeah,
comes
I think
close
that's
to it.
fair.
And but I have been really enjoying Scarf too. And what I have been feeling is that fast U-turn is super good, and it's one of the faster U-turn mons. in the format, while still having like absurd damage output. Like just the fact that it has a 130 base stab with a good attack stat is so strong. But at the same time, it has felt kind of clunky because it's so limited in what it can do in some
Yeah.
matchups.
Yeah, that's how I feel about. That's what I mean by like it's weird borderless. It's just like it's it's neat, but also it looks like it has a lot of coverage, but like you try to hit like Bronzong or something with this and you're forced to use HP fire. So at the same time it's like
That's not true.
surprisingly limited.
I ran gravity most of the time.
Yeah, just run gravity.
Oh yeah.
I would over
All
more
right.
than I would run HP fire if you're picking.
Yeah,
I think gravity is like super good on like both Landorus's, to be honest.
sure.
But
Yeah.
um, yeah. Um, it was actually interesting to see like on that topic. If you don't mind me like kind of shifting
Yeah.
the topic. Um, it was definitely interesting to see like Landorus Incarnate didn't clear that much because it's mostly only on sand, but like Landorus Therian also cleared like had like a really bad conversion rate. Um, it was drafted all 30 times, only cleared 12, 40%. It's like the lowest. It's like the single lowest converting like
Yeah.
top pick.
Yeah.
Um, and like I think there's like pretty like pretty like normal reasons that we could think of like why this might happen because like
Well,
it's
I,
like it's like slow um and it has a lot of the same traits as Incarnate in some regards, but it's not as strong um or as fast. And like, in this kind of metagame, I think it's like kind of a dog eat dog world out there. So like you gotta be hitting them on all cylinders all the time. So
yeah.
I can kind of understand maybe why something like your first pick being something slow um might not be ideal.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's all there is to it.
Yeah. For me, okay. So I have like some understanding of the format that isn't public knowledge, which I do not want to reveal right now. But it is well. Okay, Landorus is the fifth Pikmon. Is the it is the fifth or fourth Pikmon, and it really struggles
Sure.
being one at that. Uh, and that goes deeper into the drafting issue that this format has, where just the last three picks are just so much better than everything else, where you just kind of are forced into weaker drafts in many
Yeah.
sorts of ways. And
Yeah.
so do that. Well, yeah. So it struggles really from being that fifth or fourth Pikmon in the format right now because unlike like Thunders or Kyurem or Terrakion or hell even Starmie, I guess, is that it doesn't it is a glue, but unlike Jirachi, it doesn't
Right.
have that many moves and it doesn't have that many options. It is still a glue it's a really good glue, but it's like it doesn't have as many options as Jirachi does, and it instead has more power. It has that strong earthquake to punish teams with, and I don't think that is really what people are looking for right now because hidden power ice is such a common move right now compared to like
Absolutely.
strong fire type attacks and warrior attacks. Like I am killing myself if I see rain and I'm a Landers Furin.
Right, yeah. It's a tough matchup into Rain. And like um I do think the one thing that the Landorus does do, which like might be relevant if we go with your idea that of like how good Terrakion is. It is like a really good Terrakion check.
Yeah,
Um and that like the thing that makes Terrakion not like among other things, one of the things that keeps Terrakion in line at OU is like Landorus Therian being on so many teams.
yeah,
But like yeah, and like it is a good land Terrakion check, so like I don't know. Maybe it's an issue of people just not really knowing what to do with it.
yeah,
Considering like the role that it has as being like a glue with a lot of defensive utility, more than like a, it's maybe not as straightforward to build as something like Thunderous or whatever, where it's like, oh, this guy just kills everything, so
Yeah,
I just
just
have to
run
like get a good
coverage
spinner
and go next.
and
Yeah.
check my boxes and stuff like that. And it's like Landorus Therian doesn't really do that because it's not, it doesn't it has a lot of coverage options, but it's just not hitting the same things as like completely. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean it doesn't hit steals or that it's really weird to say that a strong ground type as strong as Lander Sphere doesn't hit grounds, but it really doesn't hit grounds. Is that it only hits Excadrill, but it doesn't hit Scizor for good, like super effective. It blunks into Skarmory.
I mean,
It
I mean,
doesn't to hit to hit a lot of Ferrothorns.
I would I would say like I mean Scizor is 2 at KO'd like most of the time.
Yeah,
Unless it's
fair.
like unless it's like a very bulky Scizor or a very weak Landorus or both. Like Scizor takes a bunch of damage from Earthquake, not exactly the bulkiest guy.
Yeah, but with
Um
Sword Stance, it can just iron. It can brute force itself through Landorus.
yeah, I mean it's not exactly so cut and dry, but just saying.
Yeah,
Uh
Yeah.
I mean Ferrothorn is honestly kind of similar in a lot of the time. Like you don't like one shot it or anything unless you're running like Choice Band Superpower maybe, but um like you're like 3 at KOing Ferrothorn like
Yeah,
basically
as long as
always.
you're threatening it
Um
enough for other things to break, I don't think that's the worst
yeah, which I don't think
situation you
that's
can put yourself in.
I don't think it's that bad of a situation. I think like Skarmory obviously is like yeah, you're not gonna hit Skarm unless you're running Smackdown or whatever or Gravity, but
Mhm.
I think it's not I don't actually think it's that bad at hitting steals. Grounds maybe like whatever, but
Mhm.
and I guess it can go more into that the fact that Landorus is an offensive mon that is defensive by nature, and it doesn't really
right.
need to hit those 3 hit KOs or the 2 hit KOs because it's so like good defensively. But it's a weird mon to me right now in the meta. I'm very keen on.
Mhm.
I just got it in a different black and white draft. I'm very keen on using it, and
Yeah.
I don't really have strong thoughts about Landorus Sphere right now because yeah, it obviously hasn't had the best experience in pools, but that can be tied more into bad use. So I'm just looking how it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
mean,
used in later rounds now that competition is getting harder and
Mhm.
the actual like top players can utilize it better.
yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. Jirachi being the number one out of the big ones is odd to me. I'm not that surprised, but it is odd to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I've talked about this. Uh, you can go, Zink.
it is a pretty close sample size overall. Like 19 Jirachis to 17 Terrakions isn't the hugest deal in the first place, but also, yeah, Jirachi can fit itself into whatever it needs to.
Right.
It's gonna do something, even if it's just getting up rocks and collecting U-turn. That's definitely better than nothing.
Yeah, I
Although,
mean, it's very
to be
flexible.
fair, at the same time, it's not like Terrakion's ever doing nothing in a matchup. Too obviously,
No,
the
yeah.
top mons are the top for a reason.
Yeah, I think that like in the case of Jirachi, it's like I've expressed this to you before in DMs, Alex, but like I think Jirachi is like very effective against people like it's very effective at exploiting bad prep
Yep.
and
Mhm.
bad drafts.
I
Because
have
like
definitely done this before.
yeah, I know you have. We all remember the sub
It was a
CM
nice
Wish
clip.
Psychic
Sub CM Wish
Jirachi
Psychic. It
clip.
was a nice clip.
But anyway, yeah, like because uh Jirachi really abuses a certain amount of Pokemon to like to get in with like more offensive sets that like go over the top and become stupid. I remember
Yep.
there was a pools replay with uh like Cosmic Power Meteor Mash or something like that,
Yeah,
Oh
that was
yes.
which was
real
stupid
my build.
garbage. But like but like it's obviously like kind of silly, but I think it is like the kind of thing that in some matchups, it's just going to be like a Scarfer, or it's just going to set rocks and be bulky or something.
Yeah.
Um, but I think like in the hands of a good player, versus a like unprepared player, or maybe an unprepared draft, there is often going to be like a Jirachi set that you can like abuse to make extreme progress. Is
Yeah.
like basically my thought process, and so I have always considered Jirachi to be very effective, uh, versus like maybe more people in pools and stuff like that,
Yeah, bit of a
more
noob
like
stomper.
average player. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say noob stomper. I don't want to be
Okay.
cruel to the people in pools, but like to the people who didn't clear pools, but like
Okay.
you know, I just think that it always has a set, or it frequently has a set that's going to be able to do uh insane damage.
Yeah.
And like it sometimes is not worth running, but sometimes it just kills you. So I
Yeah.
think it is also maybe down to like Jirachi lending itself to Jirachi is also like one of the better U-turners in the format. Like we're getting back into the Volt turn discussion. Like
Mhm.
Jirachi and like a Volt turner and like a Volt switch guy and like a big physical breaker or whatever is like a very
Yeah.
common combination of Pokemon.
Yep.
Um like and this like sort of plays into it. I think there's multiple factors that go into Jirachi being number one in terms of like top pick performance.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jirachi has shown itself to be more of a hyper offense type mon. In how it behaves. It hasn't been that successful in like traditional balances that is usually understood, and it has been that offense glue that really has been driving it home, and just like in Black and White OU right now, where it is
Yeah.
Mhm.
that safe utility with rocks, U-turn, and wish and healing wish. Heal is not to speak of fucking healing wish. What a broken move. Uh, is that yeah? It just has these traits that make it a good mon for the format, since it enables so much naturally.
Definitely.
And yeah, like Scribble's team, I'm looking at it has Jirachi, Haxorus, Gliscor, and Gengar, which is a good core. And that's just an
For sure.
that's for example a Squin's team here with Jirachi, Hydreigon, Infernape, and Dragonite. Well, that's unrealistic, but it's again just good pivots and
Yeah, I mean, I
pivots.
think that yeah, I think that like the Dragonite with Jirachi is maybe like unrealistic. Like when I was like looking at pools like winners, I had a whole like section of guys that I had like filed away in my brain as like, okay, these are just outliers, right? Like
Uh,
I'm not really going to be considering like uh the Jirachi Dragonites, or like the Garchomp. I think there was like a Garchomp Terrakion or something. Like I'm not really going to be
Oh my
considering
goodness.
like these sorts of insane things as
Jesus.
reasonable, because like no one should be getting like Thunderous Terrakion or whatever. Like that's just not like
Yeah.
a normal expectation. So, but
Yeah.
in any case, I do think that like like Jirachi, Hydreigon, and Fernape, for example, like if you like just nix the Dragonite there, like that's like a pretty reasonable thing
Yeah.
that you could get.
Mhm.
And I think that like that's like very solid.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think like that like all three of them pivot. Um, Hydreigon's like an insane breaker. I think Hydreigon is super scary in this format. Like with no Latios, it has like basically full control of like special dragon real estate. Um, and like it makes great use of that to be
Yeah.
completely terrifying.
Yeah.
Um, like it also has like really is it's also something that people don't talk about a lot, is like it has really good bulk and it has roost. It's like very flexible
Mhm.
in this
Mhm.
regard. So I don't know. I think Hydreigon's really good. Jirachi, like Hydreigon, is a pretty good core. I've used this in Fairy Gen draft and it's been good. So
Right.
and it's good for a lot of the same reasons here, even though obviously there's a different dynamic. But
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm just personally looking at Politoed right now,
Right.
Well, something I kind of expected was the downfall of Rain, and
Mhm.
only 11 Polytoads in brackets just tells a lot. And it went
Yeah.
Yeah.
undrafted quite many times compared to what you would kind of expect from one of the major weather setters. Like,
Mhm.
but just yeah, 24 times drafted, 11 months, 11 examples. So it's barely under a 50% win rate, and that I could kind of see coming
Yeah.
due to
Yeah.
because I've been yapping about this fact in public is that Rain I think is the hardest play style to draft.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I
Mhm.
think that Rain has a lot of pitfalls. Like I think that having talked to a lot of people of all skill levels in public discords and in private and stuff like that, it's like um yeah, I really do not feel like a lot of people know how best to build Rain. Um and like there's this weird I think like there is a the infamous conflation of like Rain with Thunderous. I
yeah,
think is like one of the issues because like
Mhm.
um I think that like I think that we're all of the same mind, and like this is an idea shared by a lot of the top players in the format who have organized it, like Monai and Misum, who both actually have like rainless Thunderous drafts and both made it out of pools.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just saying, because like that's a really good style. Um,
Yeah.
is like Thunderous doesn't actually like abuse rain that much. Like it's so strong already. Like you can just use Thunderbolt and you'll still
Mhm.
be killing people. Like you don't need like
Yeah.
its exploitation of rain is limited to fully accurate thunder,
Yeah.
which
It
is
gets
like
a.
good, but it's not actually getting any like you're not raising the ceiling on Thunderous by putting it in rain.
yeah,
You're just like
Yeah.
making it hit like somewhat harder, some more of the time, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
yeah,
But like
Under rain, you
the
can
real
think of
thing
it
that
as like.
makes
Sorry.
no, yeah, you just
Okay.
you
Okay.
can
I'm
go,
just going to say this quick.
you
It'd
get
be
your
like
thought
a
out.
26% damage boost from like the Thunder to Thunderbolt, which is like fine, but it's not as good
Yeah,
as like
that's
an
like a pretty
actual rain
considerable
mod
damage
anyway.
boost.
Yeah, it's like good, but it's not great. And I
Yeah,
think yeah, Polytoad could definitely come up with
yeah.
other things
I
better
think
anyway.
that the thing is that like the thing that is going to abuse rain are like, you know, water types,
Yeah, of course.
whose damage is like actively greatly magnified by being in rain. Like I think like guys like Feraligatr and Gyarados and Floatzel, Sharpedo, and like a lot of these like cheaper mons, to be honest, because like they're not actually like that well that like they're not that great outside of rain or good.
Yeah,
But like when you put them in rain, all of a sudden like something with like Floatzel speed tier in rain is like hitting insanely hard. Um, same with like Sharpedo. Um, there's a lot of like water types that can actually abuse the rain to become monsters
yeah,
in a way that like Thundurus doesn't really do.
yeah,
Like Thundurus is a really good Pokemon. So like
yeah,
I think that a lot of the rains like of the rains that did make it out, I would probably guess that like most of them did have Thundurus. But this is they're getting it out, I would imagine, is probably more down to Thunderous being on the team than it does to Thunderous being in rain
yeah,
yeah,
specifically.
yeah,
Um, but I think that like building rain as a consequence is a lot more difficult than just like Polytoad Thunderous, and
yeah.
then where do we go?
And
Because
mhm,
like
yeah,
you know, I was just gonna say
yeah,
like one more like the last thing I'll say on it is that like Thunderous uses its bulk a lot, like to get a turn of setup that can like win the game, like with agility, nasty plot, whatever. Thunderous's bulk is like pretty good, and it abuses it a lot. And the thing is like when you put it in rain, all of a sudden you give it like a weakness to water, and like now you have to find a way to plug that weakness. Um, with like I guess Politoed like helps you obviously, like it is a water resist itself by being water type, but like um, Politoed's not a very good Pokemon. So you don't want to be like
yeah,
relying on having it on the field all the time. It's just kind of like I don't know. It's a
mhm,
weird predicament to put Thundurus in, where it's
yeah,
like taking a billion from Hydro Pump, and it's just kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So my personal issue is that people aren't experimenting it with rain enough, and that is the issue driving it back. So people obviously notice the fact that Tornadus is a good rain mon, and that is I was glad to see it coming. That the fact that people are actually like using Thunders with rain, because that's like one of the bigger pairings. That is one of the viable ones, because having a reliable flying stab on Thunder Tornadus while being like really fast and really hard to check, because line resists are hard to come by in the format outside of Steel type, and it has Focus Blast for that, and it has Nasty Blight. It has a ton of utility. But
Yeah,
my issue
like
has.
Thun-
Yep, sorry.
yeah, I was just gonna comment really quick that like yeah, like Tornadus actually like makes better use of this because like your alternative to Hurricane on Tornadus is like Air Slash, which is like horrible.
yeah,
Compare this to like Thunderous, which like the drop
yeah,
from Thunder to Thunderbolt is not that big,
yeah. If we're
whereas
making
the
the
drop from a
comparison, it
Hurricane to Air
is
Slash is like really bad.
actually a near 50% boost this time when you go from Air Slash to Hurricane, which is great.
Right? Yeah.
It's great for Torn and Rain. Yeah,
Yeah. And I think that one of the ones that went undrafted way too many times is Gyarados, actually. It got drafted three
Yeah.
times, and Gyarados is actually fucking insane in Rain, and people haven't been
Hmm.
understanding that fact. Because it's a Moxie booster with Dragon
yeah,
Dance, a good speed tier, like for a mon that bulky. Like, it has great bulk, is the thing. Like, let me just fetch. Gyarados has 95 HP and a 100 special defense. That is a that's a good bulk. You
mhm,
outspeed Dragonite of all things by 1 point, which is a huge deal. And
Hmm.
like you have a Moxie, so I think Gyarados has been one of the most overlooked mons so far, because it should
Yeah.
not move from 13. It is just gonna be so busted if it moves down, due to the fact
I
that it is
think.
a Moxie user in permanent rain with waterfall, good as
Yeah.
strong waterfall. Like what? Just the fact that you have an adaptability waterfall that is 100% accurate, and you have Dragon Dance and you have Moxie, and that mon goes undrafted is such blasphemy to me.
Yeah, I do think it's kind of crazy how little it gets drafted. Like we took Zinc and I think took Gyarados in a
yeah. We
team
did.
draft ghosting tour a while back when we took Rain. That
Yeah.
team also had a ton of problems, but like it did have Gyarados on it, and it was
Wow.
very good.
I
Um,
was going to get to this eventually. I think one of our problems was we took Polytoad like on wheel in the first round, and I think that's like something that shouldn't really
Bad.
be encouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like you can take, two good Pokemon, and let's just say like one of them is Thundurus, for example. We said, Thundurus comes and goes with Rain, but it can still definitely fit on Rain. And let's just say you get like a Thundurus and another good Pokemon. Let's just say Excadrill, for example. I don't know how realistic that is. I haven't looked at the data, but if you see Politoed is there on the way back on third round, you're like, okay, this could fit something. If you have like a reasonable, yeah, if you have like reasons to do so, then you can get a third or fourth round. It goes undrafted enough of the time that I see
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
first pick Polytoad and I think they're going insane, respectfully.
Right, yeah. I think okay, here's what I will actually say. I don't actually think that Politoed Wheel is crazy. I think that Politoed Thunderous Wheel is crazy, but I think that like
That's
if you
fair.
want to get like Politoed plus like Tentacruel or something, that's like insane. Um like Tentacruel is so good. Um
Yeah.
and I was actually going to say like I think this is part of why
Oh,
I think this is a big contributing factor actually to why Gyarados goes undrafted, even though it is good. I do think you have to concede at some point that like um if you have rain, you really want one of Blastoise or Tentacruel as a spinner because like in rain they become unkillable. Tentacruel is insane with toxic spikes and all that. Like that's really good.
mhm.
But like it is kind of tough when you have like Politoed and like one of those guys to then take Gyarados because you have like triple like three really expensive water types that you've put all your points into, and now you're like okay, how do I like not immediately lose to Thunderous?
Yeah.
Because like and like you have to solve that problem very quickly with that lineup. Um, and like, you can slot like a Walkenberry or whatever every now and then, but like and like that'll sometimes that might be enough, but like that's not super reliable. Um, so like I can understand why stuff like Gyarados doesn't get drafted that often because you need to fill a lot of boxes on Rain, and just loading up on more water types does kind of give you some holes. So
That's true.
Yeah, but I think
It's a
naturally,
very give and take style where you want water types, but you also need to not just get completely bowled over by electric and grass moves the whole time.
yeah, and dragons.
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
dragons, yeah, like fitting a good steel on that
Yeah,
also
yeah,
solves
you still
problems.
need to throw a steel type in here somehow. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very interesting style.
So yeah, I think it is by far the out of the major five that I listed, is it is by far the hardest play style to go for. And
Mhm.
why I personally like suggest Thunderous with Rain is that when newbies go drafting Rain, they do not know they're doing. So at least give them a strong mon that they like can just click moves with, and make at least something competent. Because Thunderous Politoed is not like super bad at the end of the day. It is not optimal. It is not the best way to use Rain, but it is still just like it is fine. It's playable. So that's why I personally like suggest it in my newbies guides. But obviously, when you get to the high level of black and white drafting, you understand that that combo is bad.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
And I think like one thing I did want to say, I'm going to issue a quick correction. Tornadus does not get Nasty Plot, I will say.
It does not. Okay,
Um,
fun. Okay, my bad.
yeah. I think Therian gets Nasty Plot, but Incarnate does not. So not that it like desperately needs the damage, but anyway, yeah, I think like that's just something that people are going to have to pick up on. Because like ultimately, like putting Thunderous on Rain is just like a disservice to Thunderous, who is like one of the best Pokemon in the format and like has much better partners. Um, like Thunderous and Tentacruel together without Politoed is like way better than Thunderous on Rain, for example.
Yep.
Um, even though like I've just got done talking about how good Tentacruel is on Rain, it's also like really good outside of Rain. Um,
Definitely.
so you know,
Yeah, Zapdos I think is the if you have to like take that kind of mon as an abuser for Rain, Zapdos does a way better job at it because it has Weather Ball. Does it even?
oh, does
No,
it?
it does. No, the fuck it doesn't. What I'm no,
Yeah,
I'm
it doesn't have Weather
laughing.
Ball.
Yeah,
I
it
was
doesn't.
going to
It
say.
doesn't have Weather Ball and it doesn't get
Yeah,
Hurricane in this
Jesus.
gen. I
Okay,
don't think
Zapdos is
Zapdos
bad.
abuses.
Yeah,
It doesn't really
I
fit on
think
Rain at
Zapdos
all.
is disappointing on Rain this
Yeah,
gen. It
yeah,
gets better
Yeah.
eventually.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, I guess.
No,
Happens.
you're good.
Yeah,
All good.
It happened.
Rain just feels because it is to me it's just water spam at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
people aren't using the lower tier abusers like Sharpedo and the
Yeah.
Vaporeons and shit, like the ones that actually benefit from it. Uh, and it's you have need to have good understanding of the format before you go drafting it, and yeah, like for example, the one team that comes to mind is the Dragonite Rain, for example. I have that open right now, which doesn't have a Thunderous. It has Tornadus as the main abuser, but it has Dragonite. And Dragonite is a weirdly good rain abuser in itself.
Yeah, it gets Hurricane, Stab Hurricane. It gets you can slot Thunder on it, which is I would say like Thunder on something like Dragonite is a lot more relevant than on Thunderous because like it doesn't have Stab
Yeah.
on its electric moves, so like the power boost is more appreciated, I would say.
Yeah, and
Um,
that this I want to double check real quick before I. Yeah, it does. So it has Aqua Tail, and that helps a ton
uh-huh.
in breaking
Yeah.
ground types for it because it struggles generally in the strong ground types like Hippowdon, for example. Well, Hippowdon sets its own sand, but you get what I mean. Like fat grounds, Dawn Fan, for example, it blanks into it normally. And
Yeah, well, I
but
mean,
but
Donphan does have ice shards, so
yeah,
wouldn't
just
really love to
hitting it
stay on that
hard with
anyway.
a rain boosted Aqua Tail is kind of good. So that's
Yeah,
Dragonite makes a good fine rain abuser. It's not nothing special, but it's fine. It's a fine mon. Fine
yeah, you
mon, right?
can you can get like more creative. You can get kind of creative with Dragonite on Rain, in terms of like making like special sets or mixed sets with Hurricane.
Mhm.
Um, like there's just some more freedom in terms of how you can play with it. Because like yeah, I mean, and there's also nothing stopping you from just using DD Dragonite, right? Like you can
Mm,
just use the normal set,
yeah,
Yeah.
which is good. But
giving
um,
Dragonite options is always good.
yeah, I mean, it has a bunch of them, so it's good to be able to be flexible.
Yeah, it just gets like even more.
You know.
Yeah.
Tsuki, I know that you
Uh,
wanted to talk about Victini and Kurm.
yeah, we did want to talk about these, and I was very disappointed to
Yeah.
see that they like had
Well,
really pretty bad conversion rates.
Victini has been doing fine. It's 7 out of 13.
It's
It's fine.
like 7 out of 13. Yeah, I guess it's a little over
How many
50%, so it's like
how
fine.
many base Curums were drafted?
Base Curum got drafted 16 times, 9 of them went.
Okay.
So like a little
It's
over.
it's doing
Say
okay.
it's like
Yeah.
the same for both of them almost. It's like a little over
Yeah.
50% in both cases. Like Curum is like 56%.
Yeah,
Victini like a little bit lower than that, I think, but off the top of my
Right.
head. But
yeah.
um, which
Victini
is
is weird.
yeah, I think base Curum is like really sick. It's like yeah, that's my grand thesis is base Curum is really sick. But like yeah,
I do agree.
I kind of I guess I misspoke earlier when I said that Hydreigon has full control over the special dragon real estate because base Curum also exists.
And Salamence.
Um, and like well, Salamence is like a lot weaker than both of them,
Yeah.
like notably, I would say. But like it is still good at it, especially because like Salamence has Hydro Pump, which is very good coverage actually. Um,
Yeah, but anyways.
but like yeah, so
Yeah.
base Curum I think like uh, similar kind of to its reputation in like current gen actually. I think it's like a really good abuser of like balance teams when they do come
Mhm.
up.
Yeah.
Because like pressure stall is like so obnoxious
Yeah.
for like a lot of those teams. Like Kyurem is so bulky. Like it's got base 125 HP, and like what is it like
90.
90 defenses
Yeah.
Yeah. 99.
on both ends, which is like so bulky. Its speed tier is okay, and then it's like really strong
Mhm.
on its special attack stat. Like so it's like hitting hard. It's not exactly like I would say like it's still less effective, I would say, than like Kieran Black at doing this because Terravolt is actually like huge
Oh, definitely.
for not being walled by Bronzong
Yeah.
on like special or mixed sets. Um, but base Kyurem is like like just really threatening, I think, to a lot of like balance cores that are relying on stuff like I don't know, like what are like the like things that are checking specials in this format like
Yeah.
um I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't. I guess I should have given more thought to this, having talk
Right.
about base Kieran, but like, I don't often think about black and white in terms of things that check things
Well,
because
yeah.
it's just not like a not a very
You
fruitful
got
venture a
offense
lot
a
of
lot
the
of
time.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but like, yeah,
Even
it's
so,
like
like,
it hits like these fat steals pretty effectively. Like it hits all the steals well except like Bronzong, as I stated already. Um, but like it also has tools to deal with even the ones it doesn't hit great. Like
Mhm.
Bronzong has 4 gyro balls versus Kyurem,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Kyurem has sub roost like nonsense, and it's pretty effective at just like kind of stonewalling it. So it
Yeah.
progresses steals very easily. It progresses a lot of bulky stuff like pretty well. Outside of
Mhm.
like dedicated special answers like Clefable or um, stuff like Rotom Wash or whatever maybe that resists like ice and ground. But like even stuff like that is like gonna get blown up by like Draco Meteor. So
Yeah.
like there's always a Kyurem set that's gonna be good, I think.
Mhm.
Um, I think it just like it does have the issue of being like slow,
Yeah.
uh, and being rocks weak. And so like you have to address this pretty like solidly. But I think it's a really good mod.
Yeah. It wants a backbone, but if you can get it in, it's just very potent.
Yeah, I think it's actually like really good with like Tentacruel, in
Mhm.
theory anyway. I think like Toxic Spike support with that guy is probably like really good.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, and then there's also Victini, which like Victini like comparable to Infernape, right? As being like a fire type with U-turn.
Yep.
Infernape just has like the utility of being really fast. Victini is not. Victini is like base 100. Like we've talked. I think there has been talk about like this is like the baseline for being considered not slow. I wouldn't call base 100 fast, but I would call it not slow. Um, and Victini does satisfy this. It's just like it hits so hard is the thing. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
V-Create hits so hard that it's like functionally stronger than Infernape because Infernape's offenses are only like marginally higher.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and Victini's stab is like so much more powerful than Fire Blast or Flare Blitz.
Yeah.
Um,
It has
that's
some
that's
interesting traits. Obviously weak rate, but it's a very good mix attacker because
yeah, for sure.
it has Searing Shot, for example,
Uh-huh.
and it has Thunderbolt, and it has a fusion. Bolt Strike is a move. Fusion Bolt is a move.
Bolt Strike.
Yeah.
It gets like obviously it's not a very good move. It's not very strong, but it gets Glaciate. Like it gets
Hmm.
in-house ice coverage. Like it's just like slightly stronger Icy Wind, which is not
Yeah.
great, but
Yeah.
like it's gonna be doing really good damage to like those quad weak things that would otherwise kind
Yeah.
of
Hmm.
be safe versus it.
And
Um,
you can always
it
just run Hidden Power Ice.
Yeah, you can also just run Hidden Power Ice. It's like stronger anyway. But like the flexibility to run like that and then also another Hidden Power is like nice. Though
Yep.
like
Yeah.
I actually struggle to think of what other Hidden Power you would run now to think about it because it gets Grass Knot as well. So
Yeah.
like you don't
Yeah.
need
You
HP
have.
Grass.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Hidden Power
But yeah, I
Blind
will
Dance.
remember. Well, you get Brick Break also.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
So
true.
like I don't know. Like and you
It,
know. But anyway,
it's got everything.
uh, yeah, it does kind of get everything. Like that's the one thing I think it does have over Infernape. Besides the much stronger stab is like just how many options it has. Like I remember Misum like in a pools replay that I watched. He was playing versus a rain team with Victini, and he brought like his Victini was like sub Thunder Grass Knot,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
actually
like
have that set.
Yeah.
like has so much flexibility and so many matchups. Um, as well as being like a really like just a good U-turn guy, like in the same vein as Victini is. Um,
Or
but
Infernape.
like, well, or yeah, like in Infernape, I actually meant to say Jirachi, because they both have
Oh,
the same base
yeah.
speed.
Well, they're all.
That's
Yes.
if. Hold on.
But yeah, and I think like just like basic like choice band is gonna hit so hard,
Yeah.
and like it's a good scarfer, and it's a good mix attacker, and it's like can do just about anything you want. It really makes great takes great advantage of the Pixie stat line, just kind of do whatever.
I
And then
didn't know
like
that.
oh yeah, also bulky. It can also run like bulk pretty effectively. Like
Yeah.
um, I remember I was completely blown out of the water in my Unova Champions League Black and White draft game versus like a bulky Will-O-Wisp Victini
Mhm.
that like
Oops, sorry.
completely destroyed my Garchomp
Yeah.
and made me lose the game. Like it's got a lot of tools at its disposal, and I think it's a really sick mon. I hope people draft it more in the future,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I hope people like uh, can appreciate those unique traits in the future as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's my piece about those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, my like underrated mon that I have a pet peeve with is Mian Shao. I am one of the bigger enjoyers of Mian Shao.
Manchow's good.
Mian Shao is really
Yeah.
good. I'm just trying to find stats for it right now. But yeah, it has eight. It got 8 times through, and it was drafted 20 times. So that okay, okay, fair enough. That win rate is bad, but it feels so good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've used it in the format myself, and it's like I feel like it's going to be scarfing like a lot,
Yeah,
unless you. But it is a really good scarfer because it gets U-turn, and it's strong.
yeah,
So like that's fine. I think that like it has a really annoying speed tier for a lot of teams. Like 105 is kind of obnoxious to deal with.
Yeah.
Like it can actually run like mixed because it has like base 95 special attack, which is very usable
Yeah.
versus like quad weak guys like
Yeah, there's so many
Seismitoad or
ice
whatever.
makes in the format for sure.
Yeah, like it's gonna run HP Ice and HP Fire and Grass Knot like to hit like
Definitely.
uh some like special soft guys.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
it a lot as well.
Yep. So that is my line of thinking for the Mons side. If you are down for it,
Uh,
I now have the underrated players that I wish to talk
I
about.
I did want to comment on one more thing about a
Okay, sure.
Pokemon.
Yep.
And it was this like Zinc did I did foreshadow this earlier when Zinc mentioned Hippowdon. I did like kind of hem and haw a little bit and foreshadow on this. Hippowdon was drafted 5 times, which is very slim. And it
Yeah.
won once,
Oh,
which is quite bad.
Yeah.
Um, I
wow.
I think this makes a lot of sense personally, because of all the aforementioned like issues that can come with playing at a slower that talked about that
Yeah,
can
I
come with
think
playing at a
within
slower
the
pace.
format, it makes sense. Yeah.
Um, like I'd have to look at the individual drafts, which I have not actually looked at because I
Mhm.
wasn't super
I,
interested in talking about it
we can
before
see the draft that
it came out.
advanced right now.
Oh
Like
yeah, we can. Let me actually look at that.
this is interesting.
Let me take a look at
Excadrill,
it.
Salamence, Hippowdon, Raikou, Slowking, Mandibuzz,
Oh,
Weezing,
Coltior.
Probopass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
Coltior.
I think this is quite good. I think this is
Okay.
quite good. It's like a Salamence draft, so like
Yeah.
owning as always. Salamence Excadrill is
Yeah,
good
making
combo.
your Excadrill better is always good.
Excadrill like abuses Hippowdon Sand effectively. We also have like uh
I think the
really good.
Slowking is very smart.
I think the Slowking is great. Yeah, like the
Yeah,
Slowking is like perfect backbone for this team.
Yeah.
yeah.
That doesn't have like wonderful Terrakion answers.
Mhm.
And like a bold Slowking does like wonders versus that guy.
Yeah.
Though I mean I don't mean to diminish Raikou. Like it's got Raikou on it, and that guy is really good at dealing with Terrak.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because Terrak's
And Weezing.
Well, you
well,
are setting up Sand for Terrakion. I
yes,
mean, to be fair,
yes.
I don't know
You are. So I think like I
Sand
think Slowking.
Terrakion calcs off the top of my head, but I'm
It's
guessing Orisford does
I
not
mean,
break for it.
it's a 50% spit F boost. Like they're good
Yeah,
calcs.
yeah.
Like it's pretty good. It's like it turns like Raikou's Thunderbolt from a 2-hit KO into a 3-hit KO, which is like more
Yeah,
than enough to be relevant. Um,
of
so
course.
like the Slow King to help you check fighters, and this is really good. Like it also comes like I mean obviously Salamence is also there, like can help sometimes with Intimidate, which like it sometimes does run because
Yeah.
Intimidate is good
Yeah.
still. Yeah, I think that draft is good. It has like enough combination of like of backbone while
Yeah.
also having like offense killer guys like Raikou on it that like you just
Yeah.
kind of are in a good position.
Yeah, I think Lance that draft largely succeeds because it's not falling victim to being too slow, but it just has a backbone and it has offensive guys, so it has a pretty clear win path, which
Yeah.
is great.
And obviously
It's
Car.
probably
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, and obviously that's like a huge pitfall if you're using Hippowdon to like not fall victim to that basically of oh well I need this defensively and whatever else.
Yeah. And obviously Coltier is a great player, so
Yeah,
to be
Yeah,
expected that
well,
he
Tio's good.
drafts well. And
Yeah, he's good.
yeah.
fair enough.
And for the players that I want to talk about, right above him is Cola Cans, with who I think drafted really well. He has a cool ass draft.
Oh, this is very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. We talked about this a little bit.
So just gonna read it off.
Kind of
Hydreigon,
unconventional.
Gengar, Cobalion, Claydol, Jolteon, Kabutops, Volcarona, Amoonguss.
Yeah.
Unconventional, but I do like it.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I think because it abuses, it's because it doesn't have one of the big ones. Is the thing that it's like
Mhm.
a draft that doesn't have one of the big ones or the traditional or round ones, and instead he went with a Hydreigon for his first pick, and he
Yeah,
executed that draft really well. That like the special offense on that draft is with okay. Obviously, Jolteon is kind of meme, but Hydreigon, Gengar, well, and Volcarona is that you're stacking so many like good offensive uh, special attackers, and then you just have this solid defensive core with Cobalion and Claydol and Amoonguss. Is that it's so hard to beat in a longer game, and that it's very interesting to me still that it still has like good pivoting aspects with Hydreigon and Cobalion, and that's just, and Jolteon obviously is that it it just speaks to the strength that Cobalion has. Cobalion is a mon I forgot to talk about, but that we forgot to talk about. But Cobalion is such a great mon right now.
It's a really good like offensive glue
Yeah,
for these sorts of teams. Uh, it can play it. It's a mon that can play at a lot of different speeds, I think.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
like you can definitely play like something more balanced with it, but it also is like it gets like taunt, rocks, and it's fast. So like you can just as easily play like some kind of offense with it where you just lead with it, set rocks, and then die because it has like a solidly strong close combat as well to like just hit something on its way out. Like it has a lot of good traits. Like and its defenses are so good
yeah,
that like it's really good. Yeah.
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 Just a good mon, yeah. And
Um, but yeah,
that draft
really interesting
really
draft.
just is it is just a bit. Jesus. Okay, it just abuse the fact that it has double spinners in Kabutops and Claydol. So even though you don't have that like extremely good one, you have a combination of two, which enables this Volcarona so well. And I
Hmm.
haven't checked a ton of his games, but what I saw was that like Hydreigon and Volcarona have been very vital to his
Hmm.
success. And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
I hope I'm not misremembering it. And yeah, for sure. I think that team was super cool, and
Yeah.
kudos to Colakens. I hope he goes far with that team. Like
Yeah.
extremely cool team.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really inspired for like Claydol Kabutops in this team because like um Gengar is your Terrakion outspeed, which is like fine. It's a Terrakion outspeed that doesn't like go really over the top and like one shot it,
Yeah,
like some other ones do, like Starmie can do, or some other stuff. Um, but like with that we have Claydol, which is like a really good Terrakion check, because it checks both of its stabs, has to run X Scissor to hit it, basically.
yeah,
Um, and you don't like I have never like enjoyed slotting X Scissor on my Terrakions
yeah. No
when
one
I have
does.
played it in this format.
Yeah, not
It's like
fun.
such a shit move. Uh, but yeah, like, and then you have Claydol, and then the thing is, we have Kabutops, which we can bring against Rain instead of Claydol because Claydol sucks against Rain,
Yeah,
and gets just blown up by everything. We can bring Kabutops, which has Swift Swim, and serves like a really important like speed checking role versus those teams as well.
yeah,
Um, like completely bodies Thunderous, uh, like it has the like good offenses to just completely trash those guys. Little known fact about me is that well, fact about me. I have fond memories of playing like black and white Ubers with Kabutops. Um, and in rain, it's actually such a monster.
yeah,
Um, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
I just really like the decision to have both of those guys for different matchups, and I think that they both
Yeah, it
slide in very
definitely
well.
stood out to me.
yeah.
Mhm.
Correct. And the second person I wanted to talk about is Sebt, or Seb's hard name, but yeah, Sebd. I don't know how to pronounce that name.
TCT.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
with a guard jump, road and wash draft.
SEBTCT.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I wish I got that.
yeah, for context, this guy has never played singles before this draft,
Huh,
and he just
Right.
casually
fascinating.
went 3-0 in polls with a really cool
Yeah.
draft, which is a pretty good
Honestly, I
offense.
can honestly I can tell that we didn't that he there are like some things on this that I'm like, yeah, I can see that this guy might play doubles. Um
Yeah,
Yeah. I am worried a bit about rocks. Actually, significantly about rocks. There's
Yeah, I mean,
three rock weeks here.
Hitmonchan is our spinner, which like I
Yeah.
would not
So
advise
I'm just
really
going
for
to read this
anyone.
off again.
But
Garchomp, Rotom Wash, Weavile, Tornadus Incarnate, Bronzong, Scolipede, Hitmonchan,
Yeah.
Murkrow. Okay.
yeah,
So
Very interesting.
um,
Yeah, it's a really common take
yeah,
on a Garchomp draft because you're usually forced into something like this, like with Rotom Wash, Garchomp, because Garchomp is usually the first pick in a poll, and for you
yeah.
are just killing yourself outside of the Garchomp pick when you get it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, Garchomp. The thing is with the Hitmonchan, like, uh, I don't like this mon. I don't think it's good, but I do also like think that Garchomp is in a really awkward position where it's like the best individual, like single mon as an all-rounder, but like uh the thing that really makes drafts great in this format is synergies and combinations. And so
Mhm.
like you're kind of stuck in this really awkward position where if you want a good spinner with Garchomp, you have to take it immediately as soon as like round two, as soon as it hits you, if they're even available still, which
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
sometimes they aren't because people are really crazy about them sometimes, but um if you want something like a Blastoise or a Tentacruel or like a solid spinner, um, you really have to take it immediately. But those guys like don't have the best like synergy with Garchomp itself.
yeah,
A lot of the time. And so like you're forced in this really awkward position of like taking something like Rotom Wash, which I think has really good synergy with Garchomp, um, and like another offensive guy, which is like what I have done when I have taken Garchomp in the past. Um, like uh, in the Unova Champions League Black and White draft, which was my first time playing it, I had like Garchomp, Rotom Wash, Heatran
yep,
as my first three, which I think is very good actually. But the issue is like I literally just didn't have a spinner.
yeah.
Like I just like took as many floaters as possible because I knew that I wouldn't be able to secure a spinner
I remember
that was
that.
worth anything.
Yeah, I remember helping
And
you with
I
that.
think it was a serviceable draft, but like it
Yeah,
definitely like with my knowledge now, it'd be a lot harder to make that same decision.
Sure.
Um,
yeah.
but yeah.
Well,
Um,
UCL just kind of was in a format that it was kind of abusing the fact that people don't know anything about it. So people like
yeah, it
me
was really the
and
Wild
Yeah, it was
West.
very fresh.
Like in my pool in that tour, Terrakion went totally undrafted.
yeah,
Which says a lot, I think, about like
Yeah.
how undercooked a lot of our understandings of the format were at that
I
time.
know there was a Kyurem
Um,
Black that went
but
fifth because I got to take it for some reason.
yeah, and
yeah,
So
I remember
among
that as
other
well.
things, yeah, there were some pretty insane things happening there.
like the fact that
Just
I got
early
Terrakion,
format
Salamence, and
moments.
Jirachi in the same draft.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
That was a thing
Yeah.
that happened. And
So
then
Um,
beyond
Blastoise of
that,
all things.
yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, yeah, that's like generally that's like my thesis though, is that like Garchomp is really awkward to fit like one of the better spinners with while also having like good Garchomp synergies.
yeah,
Um, So yeah, because like you want so many things with Garchomp, right?
yep,
Like you want like
Mhm.
a reliable rocker, so Garchomp doesn't have to rock that often, and you want like a reliable scarf, speed control, so Garchomp doesn't have to scarf every game because scarf is a
Mhm.
horrible item. Um, and like you want like a lot of decompression, um, with Garchomp, and
Yeah,
that's like really hard to accommodate if you're also gunning for like one of the better spinners, I feel.
yeah,
So it's
tough balance.
kind of an awkward thing to deal with.
yeah.
Um, I'm pretty sure like 40 what was 48's draft again?
48 has a good one,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, he has Garchomp like this is an example of when you do take the spinner.
Yeah,
He has Garchomp, Blastoise, Skarmory, and he took the Blastoise
yeah,
immediately because like obviously he knows that he's not going to get a spinner worth
yeah.
anything
I
if
did
he waits. So
something similar. Yeah, I think
Skarmory like
less.
really good with Garchomp.
yeah.
Um, so.
But yeah, that is
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
And then he made up for it with like Azolf Rotom Mo in the later areas, which is like, oh yeah,
he has a
these are the Volt
drain
Turn
too.
guys that make that
yeah.
put the Go Juice in. And like yeah, so not to derail too much, you know,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to
No,
draw
that's
attention
like
to that.
another great way to think about Garchomp draft. I think that's like, yeah, you get your Rotom Wash or your Blastoise in an ideal world. I think those are both just great partners,
Yeah.
but you gotta pick one, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Blastos feels weird. So does Tentacruel. I would rather have Blastoise than Tentacruel because Blastoise is bulkier overall, so you can flex guard
Yeah.
jump better. But
Mhm.
obviously, guard jump really likes T spikes, so you could argue that Tentacruel could work. But yeah, I am. It's but it is the I'm pretty known that I don't like Skarmory that much right now, due
Mhm.
to some limitations it has. I kind of took on the
Yeah.
Monai boat on that topic and kind of said that yeah, Skarmory feels like mid because it is such a momentum sink every time it comes in. So especially on balances, it just feels like
Yeah.
you're not achieving that many things. But it's a good mon.
Yeah.
It has its place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I
similar,
think
Definitely.
yeah, sorry.
go finish your thought.
Yeah.
It's
For
okay.
example, unlike Ferrothorn has good disruption with knockoff and Thunderwave and Toxic Elite shit. And then
Mhm.
Skarmory kind of left that yeah it gets the hazards up, but what else? That like you can whirlwind,
Yeah.
but that what else?
Yeah,
That's about
I
it.
do
Yeah.
think that I would say that Skarmory having phasing, um, Ferrothorn I feel like without careful play is taken advantage of by setup threats in a way that
Yeah.
Skarmory kind of just isn't because of phasing.
Yeah.
Like um like a some sub sub sweepers mostly like sub guys like a Dragon
Yeah.
Dancer or
Yeah.
even like a sub CM Jirachi or something like that can
Mhm.
really take advantage of Ferrothorn just not getting moves to hit them very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um Whereas Skarmory can just phase those guys out. But it's like a different set of problems.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
Ferrothorn just has a whole like different kind of utility and because of its like insane typing, um, giving you water resist and an electric check. Like they're very different mons.
Yeah.
Because like Ferrothorn is like a grass type that doesn't check grounds, but
Yeah.
Skarmory is like a steel type that dies to electrics and stuff. So it's just
Yeah.
like
Very different mons. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
very different.
yeah, Ferrothorn obviously has the fact that it's a pretty good mixed tank, but unlike Skarmory, where Skarmory isn't,
Yeah.
because Skarmory just doesn't have enough HP or special defense to really stand out. So I'm just gonna fetch. Yeah, because Ferrothorn, even though it doesn't have the greatest HP stat, it has a 116 in special defense, so it can still do mixed defensive options. But then Skarmory doesn't, because Skarmory just has a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It has
Yes.
65
I will
HP
say
and 70
I will
special
say
defense.
I would say it does depend on the threat. Because like Ferrothorn, for example, being like weak to fighting and also 4x weak to fire,
Yeah,
um, does give it some issues because unless you're talking about specifically like an electric type,
yeah,
um Skarmory is actually or a water type, because Ferrothorn resists both of these. When I always think of Alakazam, for example.
yeah,
Alakazam can just delete Ferrothorn because it has Focus Blast and HP Fire that it can run. Whereas versus Skarmory, it's Spadef Skarmory actually is like a really good Alakazam check, because Alakazam doesn't actually hit it very well.
yeah. That's
Like
fair.
HP Fire does 35 or something, or not that low, but it doesn't do that much. Um,
Right.
to Spadef Skarm, let alone Focus Blast. Focus Blast does less. Um, but yeah, it does depend, I think, a little bit, but yes, by and large, Ferrothorn better at entry special.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Any other standout drafts you want to look over?
I really, personally, I'm kind of at the point where I'm running out of ideas. I think we have
Okay.
discussed everything that we should discuss.
Okay.
Hmm. Let
Yeah,
me
yeah,
let
Yeah.
me
If
think
you
for
guys have
yeah,
1 second. If there's anything
any
else I
other
want.
yeah.
topics to go over,
Any other drafts that you want to discuss?
uh,
Hmm.
I'm just going to look briefly.
Yeah,
I don't think anything spoke to me strongly enough.
yeah,
There are there's some cool experiments here and there. I will say I'm glad to see so much variety. Of course, I think it's great that there are enough viable mons in the tier that you see a little something different with every single draft. I
Yeah.
think that's just awesome.
Yeah. Maybe if I
Yeah.
was to say like a mon that feels unexplored at the moment by the like, okay, the top player base has explored the mon, but the
Okay.
new ones is Mamoswine personally.
Right.
Yeah, I
Mamoswine,
thought about Mammoth a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mamoswine
Mammoth
feels
Spine is.
unexplored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of awkward to slot
Definitely.
in
Yeah,
some sense, right? Because it's a ground type that really doesn't really want to click Stealth Rock,
yeah,
with
Yeah.
its time, because it's like frail and very strong.
yeah,
So like you
Hmm.
just kind of want to maximize the amount of time it's on the field
yeah,
hitting stuff.
yeah,
And so like it's kind of awkward because like a lot of
Yeah.
the time when you slot a ground types are generally like really good stealth rock clickers, and like really reliable ones. So
Hmm.
like um,
Yeah.
there's it's sort of can be hard to justify because
Yeah.
like you kind of need a steel that rocks specifically,
yeah,
Right.
with Mamoswine.
It's very
Um,
strong, but it's also just slow, and it's not super
yeah,
bulky, and it has so many common weaknesses. It's got high upside, but yeah, slotting it is going to be so tricky, like you said, for all those
yeah.
yeah,
reasons and more.
I think it's like one of the things it is good at is like it is a really strong ice shard guy. So like it's a really
Yeah,
good like soft check
definitely,
to every dragon.
yeah,
definitely
Um,
helps it out for sure.
except Cherim, I guess. But like
Right,
that guy has a
right.
wholly different like whatever. But
yeah,
Hmm.
anyway, yeah. Like I feel like yeah, I think it is an interesting guy. I think I have also talked before about like Weavile on a similar note, which is a very different Pokemon because it's
yeah,
like its defining trait is being super fast
yeah,
and having like a similar ice type offensive profile, except without uh the extremely strong earthquake, which, is kind of sad. But it also,
Yeah,
on the other hand, offers like pursuit utility,
yeah,
yeah.
which I think is really good.
yeah,
So, and I've talked about Weavile before. I've maybe like overhyped it when I've
Hmm.
talked about it, but
yeah,
um,
yeah.
like for a mon that doesn't have
It
that strong of
is
stabs, like it doesn't get Icicle Crash
mhm,
yet, and it has to use like Night Slash as its
right.
primary dark stab. But it's just like fast enough to be good, to be like solid in my opinion. It's a really good cleaner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um, gets low kick to deal with like Ferrothorn and
steals.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I think it's a pretty solid guy
yeah,
yeah. I
that I
think
would like to see more of.
it's interesting. I think, yeah, with some of the statistics, it's hard to say anything definitively. But if you see something has, 50% win rate more or less, it can still have potential or
yeah,
be underexplored or anything like
yeah,
that. It's
Yeah, I
hard
mean
to say anything definitively.
yeah,
yeah,
I mean we're still in like the tentative stages right now because we're not even done
Yeah,
with the first round of bracket yet. So
yeah,
um I would love to like um after the first round of brackets done, I'm definitely going to be taking a look at like what made it through.
yeah,
hmm
Because I think the first round of bracket is really going to be like a
just
screener for a lot, like a really good secondary screener beyond
mhm,
pools for like
yeah,
stuff that's
yeah,
up to snuff or not.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And obviously, we can do more of
so
this later on.
mhm,
And for
yeah,
me, I do want to say something about Weavile. So, we were discussing this pretty heavily, and I was pretty bored by the discussion originally. But yeah, Weavile feels it is a very interesting one in the sense that it's the strongest pursuit user in the format outside of Tyranitar, and it is the by
yep,
far the fastest one. So it can
mhm,
like offensively check Gengar better, or
hmm
it
yeah,
outspeeds it. It
yeah,
outspeeds Starmie, and it has my main problem mainly with it is that it has such garbage abilities outside of Pickpocket is a gimmick on it.
yeah.
It
Pickpocket's very bad. Yeah,
yeah,
it
Pickpocket
basically
is a
doesn't have an
gimmick if
ability.
you are running like air balloon. I guess you could
yeah,
still make it work, but it has pretty shitty abilities, so it's really relying on that speed to carry it. And as it doesn't really have the strongest stabs, with
Mhm,
ice shard,
for sure.
ice punch and night
yeah,
slash, uh, it is kind of weird, but I think it has merit in the way that it is the one of the fastest mons in the format, or
Yeah.
it is. I think it might
Yeah.
be the fastest like real one outside of like Crobat, I
It-
guess.
It is. It is
Yeah,
like
it is.
I would say like I would say like Jolteon is like Jolteon's like real, like
Yeah.
on the edge, but like
Definitely. Yeah.
you know,
It's
but like
draftable.
Weavile is definitely approaching that.
Mhm.
Notable thing about Weavile is that like it is a Terrakion outspeed without having to run a speed boosting nature.
Yeah,
Like it gets to
correct.
349
Yeah. Yeah. That's
on Adamant, which like can come up sometimes because like sometimes you do have drafts where like Terrakion is the
yeah.
fastest mon. Um, and like I don't think those are even bad in particular, but like
That's really great for making
um,
it stronger because obviously its coverage leaves a little something to be desired at times. But yeah, that's like
I think yeah, I mean I think
great
the
to
coverage is
have.
actually I think the coverage is actually fine. I think it's just like
Yeah.
its
No, I
stabs are
just
like
mean the
not that good.
coverage is like, or sorry, the stabs are weak.
Yeah, they are weak. Like Ice Punch
That's
and
what I
Night
meant. Like
Slash are like
adamant is just going
not
to give you a bit of a punch. That's all.
yeah, yeah, I
Right.
agree.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like
Perfect.
yeah, and like being able to like speed check like uh it outruns like basically everything like we just talked about.
Yeah,
Right?
just
Like
about
it
anything.
outruns
Yeah.
Gengar and Starmie and Alakazam. Like uh
Mhm.
so I think I saw like a few Garchomp Weaviles. I'm not sure if multiple of them made it through pools, but I did see like at least one make it out of pools. And I think Garchomp Weavile is actually pretty good. Because a lot of those like really fast guys annoy the fuck out of Garchomp. Um, but yeah,
Right.
Ah, yeah. Let me just see. Turing Doc real quick. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Maybe as one last like mon that I'm looking forward to seeing more when it gets a price drop that it really needs. It's Breloom, and Breloom is it's a sad one in the way that it's so strong. It has all these good traits, but then it just doesn't work in the format due to how offensive and
Right.
speedy the format is.
Yeah.
And it's a
yeah,
kind of a sad case. But I am looking
Mhm.
forward when price changes happen after this tour, and inevitably, with I hope like Terrakion going to 18 with Garchomp, for
Yeah.
example, want to change that I wanna see happen. Uh, yeah, Breloom, I hope it really gets that price down eventually, and
yeah. I think I think the issue with Breloom is that like when I think of Breloom, I think of it as yeah, it's definitely like a mon that preys on more defensive structures.
yep,
But those don't really exist.
yep,
Yeah.
Like it just sort of gets outsped by everything and dies in the current state of things, and that's like not really
Yeah. It's not
acceptable.
conducive to a draft environment at all.
Yeah, it's like and it's like you know, you can choice scarf it. Like choice scarf versus like some offenses isn't bad, but like it's a choice scarfer that's slow, so it doesn't outrun like +1 dragon dancers with a choice scarf, which is like really bad.
yeah,
Um and it's, you know, it's it's okay. I thought about it like sort of in the same vein as like Scizor as like guys that don't outspeed Terrakion but have super effective prio against it and can
yeah,
help you soft
Mhm.
check it. But
Yeah.
like Scizor just offers so much more because
Yeah.
it gets like roost and it pivots and it's a lot bulkier and it's a steel type. Like
Yeah.
it
Steel
just
type
has so much
is
more going for it.
huge among
Um,
other things.
yeah.
yeah. And I've just looked. I can confirm that like I think let me check just to be sure again. So I count one, two, three like drafts of Garchomp, Volt Switch Abuser, and Weavile did make it out of pools. And I think this is actually I think this is actually a really good core.
Yeah, for
Um,
Right.
sure.
there's like Garchomp Rotom Wash Weavile and Garchomp Zapdos Weavile, the two
Mhm.
Yep.
different kinds
That
I
makes
saw, but
sense.
and I think that those are good. Like,
Okay.
but
Right.
Yeah, very, very different stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, price changes. I hope that are will happen after the tour. What would want to see is Terrakion going to 18 is what I would want to
Mhm.
see. Some
Agree.
stuff going down. Victini should go to 15, I think. Starmie should go to 17. Starmie especially. Like, what a god
Mhm.
mon. It hasn't had the best
Yeah, I think
win rate,
Starmie's
but
great.
it's such a good mon. Yeah, for like price downs, potential. Yeah, Tentacruel should go to 14 in my eyes, due to how close it is approaching first, early second round pick material.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Tentacruel and Blastoise could go up. I think
Yeah.
they are just so incredibly solid and splashable early rounds, and having the spinner is so valuable.
Yeah.
So
Blastoise
there
being
are a
12
lot.
is kind of crazy,
Yeah.
considering
Yeah,
how quickly
it
it gets
feels.
picked.
I've used it so much. It's just insane value for 12.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's just like a really good, like, it's just fundamentally very
yeah,
solid. Which is like, I don't know, you wouldn't on the
might be
face of it
too
expect
solid
it,
for 12.
but rapid spin is just at such a premium in this format. Not really
Yeah,
something we talked
yeah.
about a lot in this recording, but like rapid spin's at such a premium, and its bulk is really nice. It's great backbone. It's like Scald is
Yeah,
broken,
these
like all the stuff.
water bulky spinners, and I mean,
Yeah.
Starmie is the more
Yeah.
offensive version of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the water spinners are just excellent. That are like not Kabutops, who are
Outside
just
of
more
Wartortle.
Right. Yeah.
the archetypal bulky water.
Yeah.
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 Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Tentacruel. Yeah. My thing is that Tentacruel is that better than Blastoise, so it should always be one tier up from
Yeah.
Blastoise, and so
I
they
can
should
agree with that.
both like move.
Yeah, in the vacuum, yeah. Your only
Yeah,
real
I can agree with that for
downside
sure.
is the EQ weakness, is what I think of.
Yeah.
But it's so worth it. T spikes are
Yeah.
awesome.
As long as you can patch this up with like a like a really solid like ground immune or like a host of ground
Yeah.
immunes, resists, etc.,
Yeah.
and
It's
not be
not
like
a
super weak
huge
to
thing to
earthquake.
ask for. It's just like a consideration. That's like your one
Yeah.
downside.
Yeah. And then like the speed tier is good, the toxic spikes are etc.
Yeah.
Grounded poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grounded poison too, yeah.
Then like I think Mesprit should go up a tad bit, like by 1 point. It's at 9 right now, and Healing Wish is just
Yeah.
that
Right.
massive.
Yeah.
Killing Wish is really good, yeah.
Definitely.
It's a yeah.
It's having that Gen 9 effect where the format is really similar, where it's just offense rules the meta. And now that we are in a similar position where it has a U-turn, and it has a relatively fast U-turn, and then it has a Healing Wish, and then a good traits in rocks and good coverage. Where for
Yeah.
Mesprit is obviously a good mon. 10, yeah. Then maybe price downs. Yeah, and lastly, Cobalion should go up. Like, that is an ironical fact. It just should.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, I think that's fair
Very,
for
very
sure.
crazy compression on that guy.
yeah. It just
Yeah,
feels way
absolutely.
too good.
Steel rocks, Volt Switch is just so
Yeah,
incredible.
for sure.
Yeah.
I actually so
Free
if I could
CC
talk
on random
about
stuff.
one that I've been thinking about, I this might be crazy. This might make it a little bit too good. I think Rotom Heat should probably drop. I think Rotom Heat being on the same. I think Rotom in this format is
I
just
think
kind of better than
Rotom
Rotom Heat.
just needs to go up, but I suppose I
Rotom
could be
might should
convinced.
just go up,
Yeah.
but because I think that
Yeah.
mod's really good.
Yeah, I think
but
Rotom is great, and Rotom Heat is mildly disappointing, which could be.
yeah,
drop
I
it
mean it's just
one
like
or
being
keep
being
it.
Rocks Week is just so sad.
Mhm.
And then like being like quad weak to Moldbreaker Excadrill is like obnoxious for a Levitator.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whereas like Rotom is actually neutral because it's part grass.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
I think there are enough guys that get around that. Like, you're not super sad about Rotom Wash being Excadrill weak, but at the same time, it's definitely understandable
I
that
mean,
it's like
it's not a huge issue, but it is like a
Mhm.
thing I think about a lot because
it
like
is not fun. I will say that
you
much.
draft like Rotom Wash and Heat are like uh
I-
pretty decent defensive guys that oftentimes can check grounds because of levitate, but like Excadrill,
Yeah, I get
like
it in the
I think
sense that, like,
oftentimes you do just need something that can not be like you need an earthquake
Mhm.
uh check guy that does not get like deleted by Moldbreaker Excadrill.
yeah, in the sense of like
So
Haxorus and Kyurem Black too. Also, just like
yeah.
going from this sort of bounces off to this one shots is like that's fair.
Yeah, basically
Okay.
my
Okay.
thought process.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe look at those.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do here is wrap up. So first of all, thank you to Zinc and Tsuki for coming along to talk about the format, which this was really fun, and I hope it was
Yeah.
fairly informative too about like what the I wouldn't call us top players, but like a good tiering minds think about the
Yeah.
format right now, and yeah. I'm excited to have this later once we have some new information about Black and White Draft in general.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Mhm.
so thanks for you two on joining me on this podcast episode.
Yeah. Of course.
Of course, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and thank you to Chuki especially for doing research when I was really busy. Yeah, partying.
No, yeah, I mean to be fair, like you eventually worked out like a you had like an automatic you worked out an automatic solution that did what I did it better.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I actually like doing it by hand. I like miscounted a lot of times. But so like even though I had ballpark data, it's a lot better to have the real numbers here. So,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
great.
and yeah, it was great talking to you, and see you in the next episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and thanks for everyone for watching and or listening. How you enjoy your podcasts, and goodbye.